30th Sunday, October 27th, 2024. How excited people are these days. A ticker tape parade for the basketball champions, the beginning of the World Series, football fever. People are really excited. How I wish we were as enthusiastic as we come to worship. Did you hear the words of the first reading? People were filled with joy and exultation. Our coming to worship is to be filled with that same joy. Before coming, we should ask ourselves, what is God saying to me today? As the words of the prophet indicated, we are not to be passively present to hear Mass, but to celebrate that God's love is revealed in the word we hear and the gift of the Eucharist He wishes us to have. We are to have gospel fever. Recently, I read about a minister, newly appointed to a parish, who went and sat at the door of the church as his soon-to-be flock came to worship. He was disheveled, a little dirty, and like our former acting governor, who went to one of our mental institutions to discover the conditions of the place, no one knew who he was. He just wanted to see how patients are treated. As people entered the church, they quickly passed the new pastor by, avoiding him, and perhaps thinking, this is no place for such a person to be. We are probably thinking like the people on the road to Jericho, who, as they accompanied Jesus toward Jerusalem, they too heard the cry of the blind beggar. He addressed Jesus, "Son of David, have pity on me." They responded, "Quiet, shut up." He continued to shout like the words of the first reading. This caused Jesus to stop and say, "Call him over." A change takes place. Those who were quieting him tell him to have courage. He is calling you. And Bartimaeus jumped up, throwing his coat aside, perhaps the only warm garment he owned. He found Jesus. That was who he was searching for. A pity, compassion, a caring heart. He found it in Jesus. Jesus asked him in the conversation, "What do you want me to do for you?" "Master, I want to see." He is rewarded because of his faith and followed Jesus on the way. We are like each person in this scene. We claim Jesus as our own. We sometimes become the barrier for people trying to find Jesus. When Jesus says, "Call him over," they change their tune. Have courage. You and I call people, encouraging them to find Jesus with us. The person at the door we passed by, the coming-to-be new pastor, was looking to see who is willing to reach out and welcome, recognize others, to live their faith in a new way. Are they? Are you excited being here to worship, pray, and see Jesus today? St. Mark tells us the man followed Jesus on the way. He who said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life." Before Jesus' followers were called Christians in the Acts of the Apostles, they were described as people who followed the way. I believe this describes how we are to live in a manner which distinguishes us as true disciples. A book review I read this week referred to cultural Catholics, Catholics in name, but not really in practice. May we seek Jesus, as did Bartimaeus, saying, "Lord, I want to see how I can be better as a follower, to live what I profess. What do you want me to be?" What is Jesus really asking of me? When we drive, we are warned to avoid blind spots. When we live our faith, we ask that our own blindness may be removed. When I can see Jesus, I can then assist the Bartimaeuses in my life to shed their blindness and discover Jesus. What a powerful question Jesus is asking you today. What do you want me to do for you? I ask that I might have the courage to ask Jesus, what do you want me to do for you? He asks me to respond. God bless you.